What was meant to be a quiet family moment at Incheon International Airport turned into a heartwarming spectacle that captivated thousands. As Kim Seokjin, better known as Jin of BTS, was seen escorting his beloved mother and father through the terminal for what sources believe is their first overseas family vacation since his return from military service. Dressed in a simple but elegant travel outfit, loose beige pants, a navy cashmere coat, and his signature cap slightly tilted, Jin carried himself with the quiet grace that has come to define him. But it wasn't just his fashion that caught attention. It was the way he gently held his mother's luggage while making sure his father stayed comfortably close, all while hundreds of fans watched in reverent awe. Armies who happened to be present at the airport described the scene as healing in real time. Some teared up not from excitement, but from the sheer tenderness of seeing their idol and international superstar transform effortlessly into a loving son. Jin's mother, elegant in a cream cardigan and soft shawl, smiled shyly at the cameras and fans. His father, reserved but smiling, kept a protective but trusting distance from the crowd as his son handled all interactions with fans and airport staff. What made this moment even more precious was the unspoken energy that surrounded them. No flashy entourage, no bodyguards flanking them aggressively. Just a son, proud to be traveling with his parents, and quietly accepting that the world would be watching. Jin didn't try to hide or avoid attention. Instead, he acknowledged the presence of fans with gentle bows, soft waves, and the kind of humility that has made him a beloved figure far beyond the K-pop industry. This wasn't a promotional event. There were no cameras from Korean broadcasters or entertainment outlets pre-positioned to capture the moment. Yet, within minutes, videos and photos taken by fans began to spread like wildfire across social media platforms. On X, formerly Twitter, the hashtag number Jin with his parents began trending worldwide within an hour. Fan accounts translated every detail of his interaction with airport staff, noting how Jin insisted on carrying the heavier luggage himself and how he made sure his mother was seated comfortably while they waited at the VIP lounge. Insiders at HYBE, while declining to give specific details, confirmed that Jin had personally arranged this trip for his parents as a gesture of gratitude. After 2 years away in the military, and now fully back in his solo artistic journey, Jin is said to have wanted to take time for family before returning to the whirlwind of international schedules. He always talked about how much he missed home, cooked meals, and his mother's voice. One source shared, this trip was his gift to them to simply be a son again, away from cameras, away from the stage. But the cameras did find him, and what they captured was not a scandal, not a fashion moment, not a dramatic headline, but something deeper, a portrait of love. Jin helping his mother navigate airport escalators. Jin sharing what looked like inside jokes with his father while holding their passports. Jin stopping momentarily to greet a child army who had been holding a homemade sign that read, "Thank you, Seokjin." He knelt down, spoke softly to the child, and then turned back to his parents with a smile that could disarm the coldest of hearts. And the fans, oh, the fans. Those who were present treated the family with a level of respect and restraint that could only come from genuine affection. No one screamed, no one pushed. Instead, the airport echoed with muffled sobs, hands held to hearts, and hushed voices saying, "He's so kind," and "His parents must be so proud." One fan wrote in a now viral post, "I didn't cry because he's famous. I cried because I saw what a good son looks like." International media quickly picked up on the story. CNN Entertainment ran a headline that read, "BTS's Jin and the Power of Soft Fame." A family airport moment goes viral. The Guardian praised the scene as a refreshing reminder that global fame doesn't erase the fundamentals of who someone is. Even Time magazine reposted fan footage with the caption, "Sometimes the quietest moments leave the loudest echoes." What's perhaps most moving is the fact that this isn't new for Jin. Longtime fans know he's always worn his heart on his sleeve when it comes to family. In past BTS interviews, he often credited his parents, especially his father, a figure known to be deeply private with grounding him during his early years. In a 2018 interview, he tearfully recalled how his mother stayed up every night when he began trainee life, worried he was overworked. That devotion, it seems, has come full circle. Now, Jin is the protector, the provider, the guide through crowded terminals and complicated schedules. Speculation has already begun about where the Kim family might be heading. Fans noticed an international flight listing bound for Switzerland, with 3 VIP seats booked under Jin's legal surname. Whether it's the Alps or a quiet coastal retreat, fans are united in one hope, that Jin and his parents get the peace they deserve. That, for once, he gets to watch sunsets not from a stage, but from a mountainside or a quiet cafe, holding hands with the people who raised him. This is the version of fame the world desperately needs, one that doesn't rely on drama, noise, or spectacle, but on realness, on kindness. on a son guiding his aging parents through the chaos of an international airport with patience and joy. Perhaps, in the end, that is Jin's greatest legacy, not just the songs, not just the sold-out arenas, but the example he sets every day, that no matter how high you rise, your heart should remain close to the people who lifted you in the first place. And today, as fans watched him disappear into the gates, arm in arm with his mother and father, it wasn't just a flight he was taking. It was a journey back to where everything began. As the day turned to evening, and the flight carrying Jin and his parents had long taken off, the airport remained emotionally charged. Even in their absence, the afterglow of what had just occurred continued to ripple through social media feeds and conversations across the globe. It wasn't just a celebrity sighting, it was a rare and deeply human moment. One that felt intimate, unfiltered, and universally relatable. In an industry so often shaped by spectacle and polish, Jin's unguarded affection for his parents shattered the illusion that fame must come at the cost of family, humility, or simplicity. From Seoul to San Francisco, fans began writing letters, digital and physical, to express what they had witnessed. Some spoke of how seeing Jin walking beside his elderly parents reminded them of their own families, of time lost, of time regained, and of the quiet promise that love never has to be loud to be unforgettable. Others made art sketches of Jin holding his mother's hand at the gate, paintings of their silhouettes boarding the flight, poems that captured the stillness in his smile. The world was not just watching Jin, it was feeling him. Celebrity culture is often marked by distance. Idolized figures are kept at arm's length, unreachable, moving in curated snapshots and cryptic posts. But Jin dismantled all that in a single afternoon. He let the world see the son he has always been. He didn't stage it, he didn't monetize it, he lived it, and that made all the difference. The love he showed his parents wasn't just a passing moment, it was a masterclass in gratitude. In Korea, where filial piety is a cultural cornerstone, his act resonated especially deeply. Elders took to online forums praising Jin for not forgetting his roots and calling him the kind of son every parent prays for. Young adults, meanwhile, felt a more urgent inspiration to call home, to book that long-postponed trip with their parents, to hold them tighter, longer. Entertainment reporters, quick to latch onto viral moments, initially rushed to capture the headlines. But soon, they too seemed to recognize that this story demanded a different tone. Articles shifted from gossip to reflection. Writers noted that while most headlines today revolve around controversy, scandal, or attention-seeking behavior, Jin offered something almost radical in its simplicity: quiet decency. The kind that doesn't trend because it's sensational but because it's real. And while Jin has remained silent on social media since the event, sources close to him say he's been deeply moved by the response. It wasn't a performance. He hadn't planned to trend. He was just doing what felt right, what always felt right to him. And perhaps that's why it meant so much. As for the vacation itself, no official details have been released. Some fans speculate that the destination may be a scenic countryside retreat in Switzerland. Others believe it could be a coastal village in southern France, where Jin once said he dreamed of watching the sunrise with someone I love. Whether it's lakes or lavender fields, the location hardly matters. What matters is that for once, Jin gets to rest not just physically, but emotionally, to laugh over breakfast with his mother, to walk through unfamiliar streets with his father, to exist, if only for a few days, without the weight of being Jin from BTS but just Seokjin, son of Mr. and Mrs. Kim. In the days to come, fans will wait. Not for the next performance, not for the next post, but for news that he is well, that his parents are smiling, that the family has found a pocket of peace in a world that rarely allows it. And when he returns, whenever he returns, the world will be waiting not with demands, but with open arms. Because Jin has always given so much, his voice, his time, his strength. But today, he gave something more. He gave the world a glimpse of what it means to be tender in the face of fame, to be generous in the presence of pressure, to be real when everything around you asks you not to be. And in doing so, he reminded us that the most powerful acts of love don't happen on stage. They happen at the gate, at baggage claim, in the way you carry a suitcase that isn't yours, in the way you lean down to fix your mother's scarf, in the way you never, ever stop being someone's son. Jin didn't just walk through an airport today. He walked straight into our hearts. And this time, he wasn't alone.